Howdy folks, sitting here in Auckland on a pretty miserable day, but one thing that's not miserable is 50k, 50,000 subs for the 2 Cents channel is pretty amazing. I figured we better do something to kind of celebrate and to acknowledge the fact that the channel hit 50,000 subs. You guys know me, I'm not really a traditional guy on YouTube who's always spouting, I feel like some of the normal YouTube tropes. I always forget to ask people to like and subscribe. I don't really set targets on how many subscribers we need to get, how many likes a video needs to get. I generally don't do that kind of stuff. It's probably to my own detriment, but I'm not really that kind of guy. When I'm observing other people's YouTube content, it's not the kind of thing that, I don't know, makes me that entertained when people are asking me to hit the bloody bell and all that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm just being an old stick in the mud. I want to keep it positive. 50,000 subs is massive. I know in YouTube terms that's kind of small fry, but for me, man, that's Eden Park full. So that is absolutely amazing. I just want to say a big old heartfelt thank you to everyone who's kind of been along and subbed either, 4 years ago in 2018 when we started, or, in the last kind of over the July period when there was a whole bunch of people watching North v South rugby. It's a great time to be a rugby fan. What can I say? We've got the Rugby World Cup next year, got the women's one this year. There's a whole lot to like about the game at the moment. We seem to be kind of past all the COVID impacts, which had us without any rugby to watch for such a long time. But yeah, man, 50,000, it's phenomenal. The whole purpose of this channel is to get a conversation going about the game, to follow as many teams as we can, as many competitions as we can, get people talking, get people sharing ideas, and the community is phenomenal. I've learned an unbelievable amount from just this channel, man. Like when I first started covering the Champions Cup, I had no idea about anything, players and teams. Now I feel like I've got a pretty decent grasp on, kind of who are rivals and who used to play for who and who's got a bone to pick with somebody else, like that kind of stuff. That's the real meat that gets you into the game, more than just the games themselves. I feel like once you've kind of got the context or the deeper knowledge about the game, you really do appreciate it more. Like you appreciate Blues against Crusaders more if you know the backstory, kind of thing. Munster against Leinster, you know what I mean? How everybody seems to hate Bath for whatever reason, or Bristol. But yeah, there's so much to like. And yeah, I just think it's been a phenomenal journey. So yeah, man, as I said, big old thank you. 50k is massive. I've got a jersey to show you guys, and I've had that many jerseys sent. It is bonkers. I appreciate every single one of them. I've still got them all kind of sitting there in that shelving unit over there. I try to take care of them. I wash them and I dry them inside out so they don't get faded and whatnot. But here we go. This one's from Gaspar. It's a Chile rugby jersey. It's a massive one because I don't think this is the kind of jersey that will be easy to buy online, because Chile is like a pretty niche market, but these guys are going to be at the Rugby World Cup. Gaspar was back in Chile recently and then brought it back to New Zealand, shipped it to me here in Auckland. It took a few days extra than we thought to get here, but it got here, it didn't get lost in the post. So phenomenal, Gaspar, mate. I look forward to this one for the Rugby World Cup. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to your boys getting their first run. It's like the big show. For those countries which are still kind of emerging or on the fringes, like getting to the Rugby World Cup is essentially like as good as it gets for now anyway, right? So it's really the once in a lifetime thing for so many of those players. So it's a really great reward. So yeah, cheers for that, Gaspar. I do want to go through a few FAQs that I get a lot, like people asking kind of the same question because they're curious about certain things. Number one is, where do you get your jerseys and hats? Hats, a lot of them are from AliExpress. I just had them printed. They're not actually that good quality. The trucker hats. Basically, I have a big head because I'm a large human being. With a large human being comes a big head. So not all the hats fit me. So I know that shop is safe and I can get basically any design I want printed based on the color scheme of the hat. Other ones I've nicked from Gaza, some have sent to me, some I've actually bought from like the official stores, but a lot of them are kind of printed trucker hats. Jerseys, a lot of them are Trade Me and eBay, which means second hand. A lot of them have been sent, but shops, Lovell Rugby, Rugby Heaven, those two stores are both in the UK, plus Pro Direct Rugby in the UK, obviously Rebel Sport here in New Zealand, and a kind of handful of other stores. But I would say between those ones, England Rugby Store as well I've used, between those that'd be like 80% of the jerseys that I've got. And I should say, because like Lovell's an affiliate, I try to be as genuine as I can. Like I don't recommend rubbish. Like I've recommended VPNs, a few rugby shops, and Flow Rugby as a kind of streaming service, and I've used them all, and I wouldn't recommend them if I thought they were, a bit rubbish. So I'm always happy to be called out if I say stuff which is not right, but I'll try my best not to recommend you guys rubbish that I don't use. So hopefully we've got that kind of area or level of trust anyway. So yeah, but do keep me honest, guys, because even I get them wrong sometimes. Other FAQs: where do you get your stats from? Mainly from ESPN, which might be surprising because at least in New Zealand, when you think ESPN, you think American sports. They generally have match and player stats for all the games, all the major games anyway, and yeah, they're free to access. So there's a few other sites which you can use, like the individual competitions usually have their own stats. Ultimate Rugby has an app with stats, but it's paid. It's like €20 a year, and Rugby Pass has stats, but I don't find them that accurate compared to ESPN. So ESPN is my preferred one because they have all the major competitions and it's free. So plus player and match stats, not just match stats. Match stats are usually easier to find than player stats. So that's another one, which also kind of leads into the future plans. Like, I don't have a kind of empire building huge plan. I want to go work for some big organization, not really, but stats are kind of a big thing because I do think rugby lacks like a big old database of long-term player stats. I think you can buy it. Like, I once asked, it's not Opta, I think the company that gets their stats from Opta, I forget what they were called, like how much a package would be to get stats, and it was like tens of thousands of dollars, or at least multiple thousands of dollars. And I was like, no. So there's no like publicly available general database with like rugby stats, I guess because there's so many different competitions. But that's the kind of thing I'm trying to build, at least for the international game. So I'm trying to kind of go game by game, year by year, and accumulate that stats so we can see kind of trends over time. Like, what are some winning stats? Is it kicking, or is it a possession game, or is it is it the teams that have got the X factor with offloads and clean breaks, that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing you need time and you need the numbers to kind of track over that time. So that's the one thing I'm really investing more of my time in for the future, because I have so many questions about how things work and what things work in terms of the numbers, and then I want to find out the answers to those questions genuinely for myself, and then when I find them, I just love sharing them. So that's kind of the number one thing working on. But yeah, plenty to keep us busy. So yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. 50k, like I said, massive thanks again, Gaspar, for the jersey. That is phenomenal stuff, and everyone else who's sent jerseys in the past, all the patrons for supporting the channel financially. If you guys have ever bought like a VPN or a Flow Rugby subscription or jerseys from Level Rugby, I hope you guys have gotten good value out of it, because like I said, I don't think I would recommend it. Like, I've had a few companies like Manscaped and whatnot contact me, but I won't recommend stuff that I think is, well, at least stuff that I don't use anyway, like rubbish. I could call it rubbish. I mean, it might not be rubbish. It might be good products, but if I don't use it, I'm not going to recommend it, basically. So yeah, I hope you guys have had good experience with those. I know Flow Rugby's had the odd hiccup, but I think they've sorted themselves out. Yeah. For subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for watching, all that jazz. Means a lot, folks. I'm loving it. And yeah, we'll see if we can do maybe a proper Q&A or something if we ever get to 100. So cheers, guys. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.